Just because we're due for a bounce and we're oversold doesn't mean that you're going to bounce in the cleanest manner. So we're really oversold on all different time frames. We're due for a bounce, but this lame gap is taking us back into resistance spots. And it's like, even if we get here, then, we got another one a couple points away. So we've got to be careful today. Statistically, for myself, and then also just, running the chat room for all these years, we never trade the gap, big gap up days that well. So we'll have to just be real vigilant that we're not just chasing everything up. Let's talk about some of the gappers that are coming around. They're not that many today. PTI is one of them. You've got already 4 million shares in volume on this bad boy. Now, granted, this thing's probably going to be a huge turn, but whatever. Hey, Danny, what's up, baby? But you do have a little bit of upside. You're starting to kind of get over some levels, and the gap fill doesn't even start till 2, so you may have a little action on this. I won't be playing it, but I understand why some of you guys would choose to. This Soli pulled back down to support. You've got some cellulite news here. Basically, they're coming in and saying that they can guarantee that, they can turn man boobs into regular just man boobs. So you could take your C cups, Brugnesh, and you could lower them into B cups, and possibly over time, you could even take them into just A cups. And that's nice, For us Indians, that's important. For guys like Sal, the bigger the man, the more beautiful. He's Italian, so, it's a little bit different. They're manly. We're just computer guys. So we can keep this one on the list. Hey, Kyle, how you doing? MRTX had a sick range on this thing. Man, it was $10 at the ORB yesterday. It's gapping up here. Watch how it reacts around the high from yesterday. If you break and build over it, then you may have something there, right? If it doesn't, then just be kind of mindful to leave it alone. But if it breaks over, it should be okay. It had good relative strength yesterday. Frankly, it just moves well. We have from here to here. That's like an $8 candle. And anytime I see a stock that does that, I'm going to keep that on my list because that's going to have the ability to get us kind of the quicker shreds that we like. Who wants to sit in front of the computer all day? We did it yesterday and it was miserable. So keep that on the list. And then we got Box over here. Box got a big breakdown over here. They've kind of blown out their earnings and all their dignity and self-respect. And so at this point, this thing is a short on all balances. But if you can hang out under 1576 and build any patterns under there, I think that this one's got a chance for a short. The SSR's got to be on this one, right? Remember the other day when we were trying to short that pig, NTNX, right? NTNX had that SSR on it. What was happening? Every time it looked like it was going to break down, it squeezed back up, right? And then next thing you know, you're like, oh shit, it's going to bounce. And then it would just kind of fizzle back out. See that? You would think oh man, this thing's going to fizzle back down. And then boom, it would pop into 28. And it got fizzled back out. Boom, pop into 28. And then even when it actually did fizzle out a little bit, you still just boom, ramped back into the end of the day. SSR can do that. It makes... You could get usually one easy shred at the open, and then they they fuck around a little bit. So just be careful on that one. So I do like Box, but not, with the SSR on it, we got to be careful. This DMPI, I'm not really sure about, to tell you the truth, Nirvan. It gave back its whole gain, so, at this point, it's kind of all right. Everybody knew it was a turd, then it popped, and now it's just back to being a turd, and at some point somebody will thrust it back up, but not anything for us for sure. On the other hand side, we still got pins on watch for potential short if it gets under this 23.54. Roku's got relative strength, right? Out of all the stocks that were getting smoked out, especially in the tech sector yesterday, software stocks were getting smoked out. Roku held up really well, still holding over its 90 EMA. You got a nice kind of price support here too. Watch for that trend line break. That can be something that takes it higher. I'm very wary of kind of trying to chase this market up today, though. We've seen kind of strength get faded off quite a bit, so we'll just have to be super mindful of that. I think that plan still has a chance to hold here. You're still holding over the breakout. Yeah, it did have kind of that nasty red candle yesterday, but everything did. As long as you're holding over price support, you're holding over price support. I'm keeping some of these software stocks on the list. The charts are starting to show rollovers, and you're getting kind of some really big candles. It probably bounces today, but you never know. If the market re-rolls, you can see the range on these things was like $10 yesterday. Between that, Mungo Bungo, the range on this was about $10 yesterday. And you got actually really kind of a key breakdown over here that could follow through. Now, you could just bounce back into range, right? So you don't necessarily know. We'll have to see if this thing starts to fade off. If it starts to fade off its gap, you start to get shredded at some particular levels, we'll chat, right? We'll see what's going on, and we'll go. A bounce trade for today, if the market does hold, this VMW's come down from 200 down to 170s. We got all sorts of support over here. You see that over here. So you're right at that sweet spot, and then you also have the 200 SMA under. This may have a little juice in it. Just depends on how the tech market in general goes. It's not going to bounce just because it wants to bounce. There is some FOMC stuff today. I believe it was like 10 a.m., something like that shit. 10 a.m., 9:50 a.m., something like that. So the rumors are out they're going to cut interest rates, which sounds a little crazy, but, they do what they got to do. So that's it. Short list today. I'll be running the scans later on, probably like 10:30. See if there's anything juicy coming up. Let's see what we got to do. What do you guys? Anybody got any tickers they want to go over? Oh, Josh got a big list today. Hold on. Let's see what little Joshy Poo's got. All right, so CTRM, yeah, you can put this on your list. Man, this one may have a little juice in it. These things are heartbreakers, but this one definitely is clearing some levels. Probably watch this one. Not my exact favorite, but I see it. ATIS. Yeah, you could, this another pumper. You could go with that. Yeah, QTWO. This one looks decent too for potential short. The volume stinks on this one though. This Zen is a nice. This is a nice chart for potential fade too. Watch this thing if it goes green to red. It just very well might. So there's all the software stocks you can definitely keep on the list like that. I think phase for today on the long side, VMW, Roku. And then, we've got kind of a couple of these gappers that we can play around with. All right? Oh, yeah. You know what? Lyft is good one. Yeah, I have Lyft on the list, too. Lyft had nice relative strength yesterday. You actually had a pretty good range on it, $3-4. As long as you can hold over this level, I think that Lyft's going to have a chance to keep going. It did run in the top of the Bollinger Band yesterday. That's why I kind of just tapped right into it and then rolled back over. So there's a little supply there, but that should loosen it. It should get loosened up a little bit here. I think Lyft does trade a little bit better than Uber does. Well, it trades a lot better than Uber. So definitely I would keep, I'd keep the Lyft Daddy on the list. This VTR is, it's a REIT. Man, REITs suck to trade. You could probably put in your list, but you're just taking this thing back into mid-range. Not my exact cup of tea. Mid-range is no good. Mid-pump, Baba probably due for a bounce, but it does not have like a huge amount of upside to it just yet. I think you can put that on the list, but don't overstay your welcome. These Chinese stocks are they've been getting dusted. IIPR. This is another REIT. Low volume on this one, guys. REITs. They give out dividends and some nice stuff, but they're not really good day traders, for example. A lot of REITs can have good charts and you swing trade them, but they'll move like like 30 cents a day over the course of a month, and you'll end up, you'll end up doing okay on it. But like they can trend. They just take a little bit longer, and they can trend a lot. So, don't like discount them, but I think they make better swing trades than day trades. Day trading vehicles and swing trading vehicles are definitely a little bit different. Hey, Miss Gifford, how are you, ma'am? Uber's another one that you do have a trend line break here. Uber and Lyft are shaping up. I just think that Uber in general moves a little bit less predictable than Lyft, just from watching them. These things to me are probably shorts now. If you get 3 big days on Nugget, usually, they pull back. So, I'd actually, it's gapping down a little bit too much. But if it pops up, I'd maybe watch for a double top around 19. That's a lot of gap days in a row for it. So, I think overall probably something to watch over the course of the next month. But in general, like I don't trust 3 big up days in gold ever. I'm going to put that nugget on the list too. We may get a little shred on it to the short side. Good idea, Andrew. Cool. Good. All right, let's go do what we do, people. You know what time it is. It's showtime. All right, let's go do it.